Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A steady flow of a fluid, usually from natural causes. The raft floated downstream on the current. A flow of electricity through a conductor. The current was measured in amperes. Dominant course, suggestive of running water, of successive events or ideas. The current of history. Occurring in or belonging to the present time. Current events. Something that resembles a flowing stream in moving continuously. A stream of people emptied from the terminal. A steady flow of a fluid, usually from natural causes. The raft floated downstream on the current. Rain heavily. Flow freely and abundantly. Tears streamed down her face. Dominant course, suggestive of running water, of successive events or ideas. Two streams of development run through American history. Move in large numbers. The act of flowing or streaming, continuous progression. A natural body of running water flowing on or under the earth. Exude profusely. She was streaming with sweat. To extend, wave or float outward, as if in the wind. Their manes streamed like stiff black pennants in the wind. A flow of electricity through a conductor. Something that resembles a flowing stream in moving continuously. The museum had planned carefully for the flow of visitors. Fall or flow in a certain way. Her long black hair flowed down her back. The monthly discharge of blood from the uterus of non-pregnant women from puberty to menopause. The semen begins to appear in males and to be emitted at the same time of life that the catamenia begin to flow in females. Move or progress freely as if in a stream. The crowd flowed out of the stadium. The amount of fluid that flows in a given time. Dominant course, suggestive of running water, of successive events or ideas. The flow of thought. The motion characteristic of fluids, liquids or gases. Undergo menstruation. The act of flowing or streaming, continuous progression. Move along, of liquids. Water flowed into the cave. Any uninterrupted stream or discharge. Be abundantly present. The champagne flowed at the wedding. Cause to flow. The artist flowed the washes on the paper. Cover or swamp with water. A person of nearly the same age as another. Occurring in the same period of time. The composer Salieri was contemporary with Mozart. Belonging to the present time. Contemporary leaders. Characteristic of the present. Contemporary trends in design. The official who holds an office. Currently holding an office. The incumbent governor. Lying or leaning on something else. An incumbent geological formation. Necessary, for someone, as a duty or responsibility, morally binding. It is incumbent on them to pay their own debts. In the current fashion or style. Up to the immediate present, most recent or most up-to-date. The very latest scientific discoveries. The most recent news or development. Have you heard the latest? Actually being performed at the time of hearing or viewing. A live television program. Have life, be alive. My grandfather lived until the end of war. Capable of erupting. A live volcano. Possessing life. The happiest person alive. Elastic. Rebounds readily. A lively tennis ball. Be an inhabitant of or reside in. People lived in Africa millions of years ago. Support oneself. Can you live on $2,000 a month in New York City? Continue to live and avoid dying. The race car driver lived through several very serious accidents. Charged or energized with electricity. A live wire. Have first-hand knowledge of states, situations, emotions, or sensations. I have lived a kind of hell when I was a drug addict. Abounding with life and energy. The club members are a really live bunch. Charged with an explosive. Live ammunition. Exerting force or containing energy. Live coals. Highly reverberant. A live concert hall. In current use or ready for use. Live copy is ready to be set in type or already set but not yet proofread. Lead a certain kind of life. Live in a certain style. We had to live frugally after the war. Of current relevance. A live issue. Pursue a positive and satisfying existence. You must accept yourself and others if you really want to live. An event that happens. Presently occurring, either causally or incidentally. Technical terms are rarely occurrent in literature. Currently happening. On a regular route of a railroad or bus or airline system. Online industries. Connected to a computer network or accessible by computer. An online database. Being in progress now. Online editorial projects. Currently happening. An ongoing economic crisis. On a regular route of a railroad or bus or airline system. Connected to a computer network or accessible by computer. Being in progress now. Belonging to the present time. Currently in progress. Preparations for the trial are underway. Of interest at the present time. A topical reference. Pertaining to the surface of a body part. A drug for topical, or local, application. Of or relating to or arranged by topics. A detailed record on both a chronological and a topical basis. In accord with the most fashionable ideas or style. Reflecting the latest information or changes. An up-to-date issue of the magazine. Up to the immediate present. Most recent or most up-to-date. The news is up to the minute. In accord with the most fashionable ideas or style. Reflecting the latest information or changes. Being or reflecting the essential or genuine character of something. Her actual motive. Presently existing in fact and not merely potential or possible. The predicted temperature and the actual temperature were markedly different. existing in act or fact. Rocks and trees, the actual world. Being or existing at the present moment. The ship's actual position is 22 miles due south of Key West. Taking place in reality, not pretended or imitated. We saw the actual wedding on television. Currently in progress. There is mischief afoot. Traveling by foot. She was afoot when I saw her this morning. On foot, walking. They went to the village afoot. Passing from one to another. Circulating bills and coins. Relating to a recently developed fashion or style. Their offices are in a modern skyscraper. Used of a living language, being the current stage in its development. Ahead of the times. A typeface, based on an 18th-century design by Giambattista Bodoni, distinguished by regular shape and hairline serifs and heavy downstrokes. A contemporary person. Belonging to the modern era, since the Middle Ages. Modern art. Characteristic of present-day art and music and literature and architecture. Original and of a kind not seen before. Of crops, harvested at an early stage of development, before complete maturity. New potatoes. Used of a living language, being the current stage in its development. Lacking training or experience. The new men were eager to fight. Having no previous example or precedent or parallel. Very recently. They are newly married. In use after medieval times. Not of long duration. Having just, or relatively recently, come into being or been made or acquired or discovered. A new law. Often followed by, to, unfamiliar. New experiences. Other than the former ones, different. They now have a new leaders. Unaffected by use or exposure. It looks like new. Designed or arranged to offer the least resistant to fluid flow. The motion characteristic of fluids, liquids or gases. A physical phenomenon involving electricity. A course of reasoning aimed at demonstrating a truth or falsehood. The methodical process of logical reasoning. I can't follow your line of reasoning. A slight depression or fold in the smoothness of a surface. His face has many lines. Mechanical system in a factory whereby an article is conveyed through sites at which successive operations are performed on it. A connected series of events or actions or developments. Historians can only point out those lines for which evidence is available. The road consisting of railroad track and roadbed. A conceptual separation or distinction. There is a narrow line between sanity and insanity. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. A conductor for transmitting electrical or optical signals or electric power. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. He's not in my line of business. Make a mark or lines on a surface. Draw a line. Often plural, a means of communication or access. Lines of communication were set up between the two firms. The descendants of one individual. His entire lineage has been warriors. Space for one line of print, 1 column wide and 1/14 inch deep, used to measure advertising. A short personal letter. Drop me a line when you get there. A telephone connection. Be in line with, form a line along. Trees line the riverbank. The maximum credit that a customer is allowed. A particular kind of product or merchandise. A nice line of shoes. A pipe used to transport liquids or gases. A pipeline runs from the wells to the seaport. A commercial organization serving as a common carrier. Acting in conformity. In line with. A formation of people or things one behind another. The line stretched clear around the corner. A formation of people or things one beside another. The line of soldiers advanced with their bayonets fixed. A fortified position, especially one marking the most forward position of troops. They attacked the enemy's line. A length, straight or curved, without breadth or thickness, the trace of a moving point. A mark that is long relative to its width. He drew a line on the chart. A single frequency, or very narrow band, of radiation in a spectrum. A spatial location defined by a real or imaginary unidimensional extent. Cover the interior of. Line the gloves. Fill plentifully. Line one's pockets. In games or sports, a mark indicating positions or bounds of the playing area. Mark with lines. Sorrow had lined his face. Persuasive but insincere talk that is usually intended to deceive or impress. Let me show you my etchings as a rather worn line. Reinforce with fabric. Lined books are more enduring. Something, as a cord or rope, that is long and thin and flexible. A washing line. Text consisting of a row of words written across a page or computer screen. The letter consisted of 3 short lines. General line of orientation. The river takes a southern course. Construction. A layer of masonry. A course of bricks. A connected series of events or actions or developments. The government took a firm course. As might be expected. A mode of action. If you persist in that course, you will surely fail. A body of students who are taught together. Education imparted in a series of lessons or meetings. He took a course in basket weaving. Move along, of liquids. A line or route along which something travels or moves. The course of the river. Facility consisting of a circumscribed area of land or water laid out for a sport. The course had only 9 holes. Hunt with hounds. He often courses hares. Move swiftly through or over. Part of a meal served at one time. She prepared a 3-course meal. The steady flow of surface ocean water in a prevailing direction. Flow in a circular current, of liquids. A miniature whirlpool or whirlwind resulting when the current of a fluid doubles back on itself. Founder of Christian Science in 1866, 1821 to 1910. A powerful circular current of water, usually the result of conflicting tides.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.